So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our global Nimble community. My name is John Ferrara. Thank you so much for coming to do a webinar with us about how to jumpstart your 2021 growth. And I'm super excited to be here with Michaela Underdahl, our community manager here at Nimble. Say hello, Michaela.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And it's really one of my pleasures as a human being to help grow other human beings. And I love to grow our team at Nimble. I love to grow our collection of Nimble partners out there, and I love to grow our customers. And I think that's one of the reasons why we build these tools to help people grow. And Michaela, when she started at Nimble, was fresh off the boat from Czech Republic. I had to learn how to say Czech Republic instead of Czechoslovakia, and she has really blossomed into really the face of Nimble out with the public and building a team around her to engage with the community. So who better than to teach us how to be more nimble with Nimble? So just excited to have you do this with us. For those that don't know me, my name is John Ferrara. I'm the CEO of Nimble. Before doing Nimble, I was part of the team that built Goldmine. And really, I've been building relationship management systems all my life. It's what I love to do. I love to power people, and I love to connect with people. So with that, let's talk about connecting. Before I do this, again, I want to reinforce ask questions. It's how we all learn. We'll be answering them in the background and going forward. So what is a contact manager? I think we all really kind of know it's whatever's handy available to us in order to connect. For some people, it's Post-it notes and spreadsheets. For other people, it might be G Suite or Office 365. For other people, it might be some type of a CRM. But the fact that there's 225 million global businesses and less than 1% use any CRM is a testimony that CRM systems don't really work as relationship managers, and that traditionally we used Rolodexes and daytimers and then evolved into things like Goldmine and Act. And today, many of us interact from a sales perspective with a CRM. And I think we're all still struggling to find a platform that gives us the power to do the things that we need to do. And that's why we built Nimble, because what our philosophy is that you already have contacts that are strewn around you personally and professionally. At your business, they're siloed in your contact platform, whether it's Office or G Suite, and then in your social applications, but more importantly, in the business applications that you use at your company. So every company has something. They might have an email marketing program like MailChimp. They might have a accounting program like QuickBooks, but you basically have at least one of sales, marketing, customer service, and accounting applications, and each of those have a separate contact database, and all of them are siloed in islands. And that's what Nimble does, is unifies all those disparate contacts and then helps you work back in the places that you work. And where do we work and live? Well, we live in our inbox, and now more and more in social. And so we unify all that, build a today page, a dashboard for you to start in your day with. We unify it all into a contact record where we synchronize your interactions on email, calendar, and social, enrich it with people and company data so you don't have to Google people, you Nimble them. And then we work where you work, because we all live in our inbox. Unfortunately, it's still where we all spend a lot of our time. And when you open up an email, you really need to know who that person is, what their business is about, and the history of interactions that you and your team have had on email, calendar, and social. But the most important thing that you can do when you're reading an email or engaging in social is to follow up and follow through, because that is the basics that wins games. And we don't do it because we have to go back to our CRMs to do it. And that's why Nimble shines, is that it allows you to schedule that task, log that note, and follow up and follow through. And I think it's one of the reasons why we've been recognized as one of the market leaders, not just in CRM, but also in sales intelligence and sales enablement, email tracking. What is that? Well, basically, beyond buying a CRM, you need the sales intelligence, so your salespeople don't have to Google people, they can Nimble them. And those tools are things like Raintree, DiscoverOrg, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Inside View, etc. Each of those packages costs $100+ per month per rep. And then you need the SFA component, the templated email tracking that enables you to outreach. And those things cost, like outreach and SalesLoft, 100 plus per user per month. And by the time you buy all that stuff, $300 to $500 per rep per month, you have to hire a sales administrator to run it because most salespeople are not that technical. And that's why we built a simple, smart CRM that works for you by building itself and then works with you everywhere you work. And beyond that, I think we really specialize in thinking differently. We really pioneered social selling and social CRM back when social was just being adopted. And we've evolved into a simple, smart CRM that layers on top of Office and G Suite and then works with the tools that you work with. As we evolve with our Microsoft relationships, you'll see more integrations and embedding with other Microsoft technologies. So let's talk about what's new in Nimble. I think that one of the key things that we've done is that two-way synchronization with all the apps that you use. The email tracking everywhere you work. So we've taken the templated email tracking and put it in the Smart Contacts Prospector app, as well as your mobile app. We've added the ability to display multiple Today page functions on your Today page. And what I mean by that is you might want to have a view of a pipeline for yourself and a view of a pipeline for the salespeople you manage, as an example. We redesigned the contact record because that's where we live. We live in that contact record, and we live in the tasks and activity tracking that we do. And we've completely reimagined that. We'll show you a little bit more of that. We've added record owner and privacy. Now, one of the things we focused on from the early days was the relationship management, contact management, and social aspects. But what we're focusing on now is continuing to stay in front on those aspects, but also give you the basic CRM features that you need for a larger team. And that is essentially what you'll see in a lot of the different things that we've been building, including the privacy and the user control and the change logs, etc. What's coming? One of the things I'm most excited about is our Teams integration. We're building an in-app experience that will enable you to bring that Nimble experience when you're engaging with somebody. So before a meeting, during a meeting, after meeting follow-up, you should see that shortly. Redesign Nimble Prospector for all the browsers. So that means that Nimble Prospector app will be brand new, updated in Firefox, Safari, Edge, etc. New database field types. Let's face it, if you're going to unify contacts from disparate places like QuickBooks, you're going to want to have custom data fields in order to analyze contacts right there in Nimble. We all live in our mobile, and we've completely reimagined the contact records in the mobile, and you'll be seeing those launched shortly. One of the things that people use CRMs for is to put leads in. And right now we don't have a distinct type of contact for a lead versus an account. It's a traditional thing that traditional CRMs typically do, and we want to give you the ability to do that. In addition to that, if you look at the bottom, we're going to give you the ability to capture leads from your website and then be able to give you signals on new leads, kind of like the bell on the door for a small shop. We're also giving you the ability to associate contact with multiple companies. So if you have somebody on the board, but they're also the CEO of a company, you can have those multiple companies linked. Give you the ability to upload local files to your Nimble system without having to upload them first to the cloud. Reimagine deals with custom fields and new reporting that links contacts to activities to deals thereof. The ability to do automation and one-click tasks from the Prospector app. New rules on merging and import, which will help you when you're merging data from things like an accounting system with customer identifier field and unique fields. Enhance integrations with the Microsoft family of products, including embedded Power BI, Power Apps, and Flow. And like I said, the web lead capture. So the Today page is a place that you can start and end your day. It gives you a dashboard of everything that you're doing. But also, if you're managing people or you're managing multiple different pipelines, et cetera, now you can have multiple pipelines and widgets that you could duplicate and have different settings for different widgets. And that will help you to do those different type of custom types of activity tracking. The contact record, as I shared, is the place where we all interact with the contacts. And I really love the new redesign that we've done. Would love to hear your feedback on that. We're continuing to refine that. You know, tasks are all about follow-up and being able to create the things you need to do. Who am I going to call today? What things do I need to do today? If you're managing people, being able to manage and track what they're doing, all of these things are key and important. And with the new activity tracking and reporting, you can now do that more effectively. The thing I love most about Nimble is the fact that it works with you everywhere you work. We have a smart contacts app we call the Prospector app that will work in your browser, but also inside the apps that you use, G Suite and Office and Social and the business apps that you use. And the thing I love about that is that you can have people that are living in your sales, marketing, customer service, accounting applications, and Nimble can then work with them right in those apps. So you have a unified contact view for your company. I want to emphasize that. Typically, people use CRMs for salespeople. Nimble is designed for that, but more importantly, it's designed for everybody in the company to use as a team relationship manager. Like I said, if you're going to send an email, you want to be able to template it and track it. We now do that inside the contact record as well as inside the Smart Contacts app with the tracking and ability to view the opens inside the mobile. And with all that, I think it's time to see how to do these things in a better, smarter way. So, Michaela, why don't you take us away and walk us through some of that?
So I will be more than happy to show you in action what all these new updates look like. I will first walk you through how to get all your contacts into Nimble, because Nimble is a contact manager at its heart. So first, before you can start using all the other features, you have to get all your contacts in. And there's several different options how you can bring them in. So I'll cover all the different ways how you can get your contacts in. And then I'll show you the most important things, like John already mentioned, that it's the basics that win games. So if we don't set up the next steps with our contacts, it's very likely we won't get it done. So I will focus on how you can set up the next steps, how you can assign it either to each other, to yourself or somebody else on your team, and how to track that things are actually getting done. And then I will go through the daily workflow in Nimble. I'll go through every single tab in Nimble, and I'll show you the most important features in each tab that you might want to be using on a daily basis. At the end, we'll have a Q&A, and also we have some special offers for you today. With that, let me go inside of Nimble. Here we are. This is our today page, our customizable dashboard that everybody in your company can customize to their liking. Depending on the role they play in the company, they can move all these different boxes or widgets, we call them, around, and only allow those that are important to them. But before the today page can start populating with any data, you first have to make sure that you've connected everything. So for those of you that are just getting started, every time you need to do something in settings, go into this circle in the top right corner, navigate to networks and imports, and here we are. This is where we can connect our emails. So Office 365, very easy to add. We have a one button connector. So with one click of a button, you can connect your emails, calendars, and import your contacts. A few best practices, since we're talking about getting all the stuff in, especially contacts. Before you get started, before you start loading your contacts into Nimble, and especially before you invite your entire team to do the same, maybe make a list of all the different places where your data is. Do you have your contacts in spreadsheets? Do you want to import them from LinkedIn or Twitter? Are there in any third-party applications like MailChimp? Do you want to bring in your contacts or your customers from QuickBooks Online? And then ideally, spend a little bit of time cleaning it up, and then also think about how you're going to organize them. In Nimble, you can use tags to organize contacts. It's the easiest way, but for organizing contacts and put in specific information in, we also have custom data fields that are very useful. And once you organize your contacts, either using tags or custom fields or a combination of, you can absolutely segment on both of them. So you can segment your database using any existing fields in Nimble and also any custom fields. So this is how you can get your contacts in using Office 365 import. Same goes for Google Contacts. So after you decided that you do want to import your Google or Outlook contacts, make sure you apply a tag. And the tag should be named something that will make sense to everybody in the company, because all your tags will be shared. So if you just share it, if you just name it Google, it might not be not everybody in the company might know exactly who imported them and why. So maybe adding your name to it or initials for everybody, so then it's nicely organized and everybody knows who imported what and why. For our Google G Suite customers, you'll have to connect your Google Calendar separately, but it also just takes a few moments. So then we have our emails connected, we have our calendars connected, and it's time to get our contacts in. One way, like I already mentioned, you can bring in spreadsheets. So just make sure you save them as a CSV file, and then you can easily upload them. We have a nice import wizard that will help you map the fields. A lot of people ask us about LinkedIn. You can absolutely bring in your LinkedIn connections in. We don't have a direct integration with LinkedIn because LinkedIn closed their APIs, but you can download a CSV file of your LinkedIn connections from LinkedIn and upload it into Nimble. And again, if you do that, maybe take a look at the spreadsheet first and make sure you're only bringing the contacts that you want. So you're starting fresh. It's more likely that you will want to use your CRM if the data is clean from the get-go. So that's LinkedIn. And then we have a direct integration with Twitter. So for those of you that are utilizing Twitter for personal branding or for your business, good news, you can bring in contacts straight from Twitter, but we advise against bringing in all your contacts because it's, again, it's very important to always aim for number one goal being keeping your data clean in any CRM database. So we give you the option to bring in only the people that you follow or people that you follow each other with, calling friends, or individual Twitter lists. And then again, apply tags as you're bringing any data in. And then last but not least, we have an integration with a company called PySync. They specialize in bidirectional data synchronization. And currently through them, we integrate with over 200 different software as a service applications. So you can either just scroll through this list and see if you want to bring in contacts from any of these applications, and then you can keep them in sync. So you can use it to sync your MailChimp contacts or Office 365, or you can just start typing your favorite application here, see if we integrate with them. So that's how you can get your contacts in, and then also how you can set it up so they are kept in sync in between multiple applications. Another way how you can bring your contacts into Nimble is from your inbox. So we plug into Gmail. So when you open up somebody's email, Nimble will be sitting on the right side here. So you'll have the option to add them right in. So I don't actually have Mark in my Nimble database yet, but if I wanted to add him, I can just click on this plus sign button here. But sometimes I want to see a little more about him and then decide if I want to add him into Nimble. So this is all the information that Nimble was able to gather without me doing any data entry. And yes, I definitely want to add Mark in. So he's in. I can also see if he has a better picture I can use. He does. So this is how you can add people straight from your inbox. Today, we have a lot of people that are actually using Office 365 or Outlook. So we absolutely have the same thing in Outlook. So when you're opening an email from somebody, you can open up our Nimble add-in. You can just click on Get Add-ins here if you don't have it installed yet and type in Nimble. And Nimble will know who the people are on the email thread. If you already have them, like yeah, just here you will be able to see the contact record. If you don't have them, we'll give you the option to add them. So I can make any changes here, fill in anything manually, and I can also apply tags and organize the contacts. So that's another way how you can get your contacts in. And John mentioned that Nimble works everywhere. So we do that using our browser extensions. I'm using it on Chrome, but soon again, it will be available on all the main browsers. So you can just bring it up like this and it works everywhere on the web, including social media. And also you can use it inside of any third-party applications. So here I am on my LinkedIn feed. I can just hover over Mitch's name and Nimble will know that I already have him in my Nimble database. So I can open up his profile here. If I want to continue working inside of LinkedIn, I can just go back. And then the good thing about Nimble Prospector is that it's a great tool for prospecting. So I can see who is interacting with Mitch's content. And I can easily bring them into Nimble. I can just hover over them. So here's Kate, could add her. And I can make any changes here. Click Save, go back. And Nimble's already created a list here. So as you saw, I can basically hover over anybody anywhere. I can also go directly into people's accounts and I can highlight their name and Nimble will help me build a contact record for them as well. And it will also be looking for other social media profiles for them in the background. So it will save me time on data entry. So with few clicks in few seconds, I'm able to create a rich contact record for Peter. And now I've done my research. Let's say this is a group of potential customers. I can select all of them and bring them into Nimble like this. I can name them hot leads, save it, and then I can continue doing my work. And as I mentioned, it works everywhere. So here we are in Twitter. Again, I can just hover over somebody or highlight their name. It will bring up the existing record. And also what I wanted to show you is that in case there are any duplicates in Nimble, we will recognize it and we will allow you to merge it straight from here so you can clean up your database. Another cool feature and way how you can bring contacts into Nimble is using our Twitter list import. So again, if you are utilizing Twitter for business, you can go into anybody's Twitter list. As long as they're publicly available, you will be able to import them into Nimble. So I can apply a tag to them and Nimble's already importing everybody into Nimble. So again, saving me a lot of time on data entry. Since there's quite a lot of people in this group, and if I want to, again, make sure that my contact database is clean and organized, I can also bring these people in one by one and then apply a tag to them this way. Another way how you can bring your contacts in is when you're doing a research on the web. So many times we will have to find the company that might be a good prospect for us, and then we will go on the company's About Us page and look for the decision makers. So in this case, I want to talk to the founder, which is Mike, and I can just hover over his name, and Nimble already knows that I have him inside of my database, so I can review the information I have about him, and straight from here, I can make sure that I do the next step. So if I want to continue doing my research, but I already want somebody on my team to go and start doing the next steps, I can click on schedule, create a task, type it in. I can set up the due date, and then I can assign it to my colleague, and she'll get a notification. Once she completes it, I'll get a notification, so I know that it's been done. You can also add notes here. So this could be anything you find about the person online. So you can put it in the note. Notes can also be searched inside of Nimble. So then if you are looking for a specific keyword, you can use the search feature. It's also very easy to send a message to somebody straight from here. So if I have the person's email, I can select it here. I can also use a template. So I can pop it in, and again, save even more time. And as I'm sending it, I can choose if I want Nimble to track it. So if you want to get notifications on the clicks and opens and know when people are interacting with your messages, you can have Nimble track it. So then I'll just send it here. And let's say I'm talking to Mike. We just had a great conversation on LinkedIn or Twitter or on the phone, and there's a sales opportunity. I can create a deal straight from the extension as well. So I can set up the name of the sales opportunity. I can set up the probability. We have multiple deals pipelines in Nimble, so I can select the appropriate pipeline straight from here, and also the appropriate stage. So I can edit here, and I can also add the amount, and I can save it from here. So these are the basic CRM things, but they're also the most important things, because if we don't schedule the next thing to do, then we get busy, and it's very likely that we will be trying to remember what is it that we wanted to do with whom. So this is one way that we're trying to make it easier for our customers, that we allow them to use Nimble outside of Nimble.
Michaela, we had a question about using Nimble in G Suite. I think you demonstrated it in Office. Can you show us in G Suite?
Yes, so here we are in my Gmail, and Nimble is sitting on the right side, just like this. So when I open an email in my Gmail, Nimble will know who the people are that are included in the email. So I already edit Mark, so it's an existing contact record. If it's a different Mark, Nimble will also give me the option to create a new contact record. So I can click on Build Live Profile for Mark. And this is the live profile. So this is all the information that Nimble was able to gather for me. So I can just add them to Nimble, and they're in. And if whoever asked the question have any specific questions in how to use it in G Suite, let us know, and I'll be more than happy to get back to it at the end of the presentation as well.
And then the other question was, does Nimble work on other sites like AngelList or Crunchbase or PitchBook or anything? So I think it'd be good to show them, just pull up AngelList or Crunchbase and then just highlight a record. You may not have an account there on AngelList, but
let's see if it will help me too.
Yeah, I think they might want you to log in to that. Go to Crunchbase.
It works everywhere. So yeah, it does work. So here I am in Angeles. I just opened up somebody's profile here. I can bring up Nimble Prospector.
And I'd highlight not his name because that's just going to give you too many Michael Jones. I'd highlight his social icon there.
Okay, so I can hover over LinkedIn.
There it is. Now just go into there. So basically, you can hover on any unique identifier that will give you that, and then you select the additional ones, and it'll go ahead and build it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it works.
The other point that they had was when you add in a contact record from LinkedIn, if you don't just hover on the text, but hover on the URL. So show them that because that helps people pinpoint LinkedIn records.
Mm-hmm. So when I go into, let's see, Bryn, here she is.
And click the contact info.
Contact info here?
No.
Here?
Sure, that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can hide.
So say create new record, build live profile.
Mm-hmm.
And what you could see is essentially it'll go ahead and build that live profile for you from the URL. The difference between text and the URL is text, it'll do a text search, which may work if they have a unique name, but the URL will always work. Thanks, Michaela.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no problem. So last thing I wanted to show everybody that it really does work everywhere. Here I am on the Agorapolisis conference website. So sometimes I want to see who the speakers that are speaking at a certain conference are and see if I would want to build relationships with them. So I can just hover over their names again, and Nimble will help me build contact records for them. So it knows that this is Rob on Twitter, so it will add a lot of information about him in here. Can pick the right profile picture. So yeah, just another example of another place on the web where you can use it. So with that, I would like to go back into Nimble. And here I am on the Today page. John already mentioned that recently we've made few updates to the Today page. I already mentioned that this is completely customizable. So depending on the role you play in your company, you can only display the widgets that you're interested in. So when you click on Manage Widgets here, and then all available widgets will take you to our support article. So I wanted to go to Add Widget here. So this is a list of all the widgets. So you can make sure that you only have those that you are interested in. If you don't want to have some, you can easily remove them. You can also drag and drop and organize them. So if I want to always have my calendar in the first spot, I can make sure I do have it there. You can also click on Add Widgets and multiply them or add them again. So for events, that's my calendar. I could add another box, and in one calendar, I can focus on my personal calendar, and in the other one, I can either have all my calendars or I can have our team calendar. So then I can rename it and close settings here. So then I don't have to use this drop-down menu, but I'll have everything in front of me without having to do any clicking. So these are some of the new features that we've added. And the main point of this Today page is for you to log in and know exactly what it is on your to-do list for that specific day. So let's now go into contacts, and let's pick on John and let's review the contact record. So on the left side, we'll give you all the information about the contact record: first name, last name, their title, the company they work for, and we also create a company record for the person. You can easily add notes to the contact record, log any past activity, or schedule anything that you want to make sure that happens in the future. So a to-do, you can put it on your calendar and schedule a meeting. It can be a call. And we also added custom activities. So this can be anything depending on your process. Again, you can send an email straight from the Nimble contact record, and you can use templates, and you can also track it. So then we'll give you notifications on the clicks and opens. And of course, you can create a deal from here as well. Recently, we've added privacy options, so you can absolutely hide certain contacts from your team. You can only have them available to yourself. And we also have privacy groups. Those are very useful for larger teams, especially because the managers can set up the permissions once, and then they'll just add team members to the team. So sales team can have different set of permissions than marketing team, and so on. On the right side of the contact record, you'll see everything that has been done with the people. And then on top, you will see everything that is scheduled to happen in the future. You can also add files to contact records from OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox. And as John mentioned, we will be giving you the option to add from your computer very soon as well. So that's the contact record. And I want to show you how you can use the segmentation feature, because once you bring all your contacts in from various different places, then you'll probably want to do something with them. So when you click on segment search, you can search on any existing fields in Nimble, and also on any custom data fields that you or somebody else on your team may have created. So these are quick filters, we call. These are just some of the most used filters, but when you click on add contact filter, you'll be able to choose from any existing fields inside of Nimble. I'll show you how I can quickly see all the people I have tagged as CEOs. So this is now including all the people I have brought in from Kate's Twitter list. So I didn't have to do any data entry on them. They're already in my Nimble. If I want to further refine my search, can also use the option here. So I want everybody that's tagged as CEO, and also I want to see if anybody from my CEOs has birthday coming up. So I want to see if anybody has a birthday this quarter. And yes, John has a birthday tomorrow. So happy early birthday, John.
Happy birthday,
So
Timmy. Happy birthday.
this can also, you can continue to refine the search until you get the group that you want. I can also use one they're used by us, last contacted by me. So if you want to just contact people you've recently talked to, you can do just the people that you've spoke to in the last 30 days. And then once I have this group of people, I want to do something with them. I can bulk change the owner, and I can assign all of them to me. I can change the privacy, and I can make all these contacts as private. If I find duplicates, I can merge them from here. I can also export them. I can save this search. So if I don't want to be retyping all these different search options, I can save it. It will appear on the left side of my screen under my segments. And if I decide to share it with my team, I can do so, but otherwise they will just show up on your end of a screen. So you don't have to worry about messing up the view of any of your colleagues. And another great feature is the group message feature. So the way it works is that it's actually sending the emails from your email provider. So nobody on this team will know that they were part of the group outreach. To them, it will look like you took the time to send them a one-on-one message. You can connect multiple emails to Nimble. So when you're composing the message, you just pick from which email you want the message to go out of, set up the subject line. We also give you the option to personalize the email by using the merge tag. So you can say, hi, and we'll automatically grab the first names. You can compose your message here. You can add your signature in settings, so then it'll be automatically attached to any email sent from Nimble, the mobile app, and also any of the extensions. You can save templates. If you keep retyping the same message over and over again, you can save it and save time on retyping it in the future. And you can, of course, apply any existing template. When you're done composing, you can send yourself a test message to make sure that there are no typos, if you include any links that they work, and that just everything looks good. Once you do send the email, you can go back to the main view and we'll give you the insights and the analytics. So you'll know how many people you sent it to, what the open rate is, what the click rate is, how many people haven't seen the message yet, if anything failed, and we'll also give you the option to add an unsubscribe link. So if anybody unsubscribes, they will show up here as well. And as you can see, Nimble tells me how many times people open and how many times they click the link I included. So I can easily grab them from here and send them a follow-up message. And this can be another templated message. So again, hopefully this could save you some time on retyping and redoing the same things over and over again. The next update we've made recently to Nimble is our activities listing. So this can be used for anybody really to create to-do lists. So if you want to just see all your tasks, you can select them here and then you can use it to check things off your list. It can, of course, be used for managers. So managers can see what are all the calls that their salespeople are working on. So you can play with the time frame here. And depending on the purpose of you creating these lists, you can configure the table. So you can pick and choose which columns you want to see here. So if you're creating it for calls, maybe you want to see the phone number here and the status, was it successful or not, the duration, and so on. You can also export it. And then let's go into deals. I already mentioned we have multiple deals pipelines. So pipelines can be used for tracking your sales opportunities in the traditional sales sense, but you can also use them to track anything else, like any public speaking opportunities. If you're utilizing influencer marketing, you can see all the projects you are working on with different influencers, or you can create a pipeline for fundraising or anything else. And then as you create deals, you can drag and drop, move them through the pipeline. Deals can also be exported, and you can completely customize the pipelines. You can rename it, you can set up as many stages as you want, again, depending on your sales process, rename them, set up the number of days that you will allow each deal to stay in each stage. And then last thing, are our reports. So then you can report on all your pipelines and create a team report, or you can create a report for a specific pipeline, specific salesperson. You can play with the time frame. You can also forecast deals and review the deals history in Nimble, and then you can print it out or save it as a PDF. So that is everything in the main app. I want to make sure we have time for questions, but I also want to talk about our upcoming webinars. So we have been doing training webinars once a week on Wednesday. We do a general Nimble overview one week, and then the next week we focus on a specific feature in Nimble. So next week we will be doing a webinar, and it will be focused on contact cleaning strategy. So if you have already imported a bunch of contacts in and you need help, you can join us. You can register on nimble.com/company/webinars, or when you go on nimble.com, it's under resources. Then we'll do the general overview, and then on February 10, we'll do deals, pipelines, and reporting. Then again, general overview. And on February 18th, we will have sales expert and lead generation expert Kendra Lee joining us, and she'll be talking about the lead generation strategies that work right now. We also have a special offer for new users. If you go on nimble.com/offer/webinar30, and then Nadia, please share the links with everybody in the questions box, and we will also share this in the follow-up emails, or you can take a screenshot of the slide as well. If you want to try Nimble for free, you can use our 30-day trial. If you're already in trial, please email us at care@nimble.com and we'll be more than happy to extend the trial for you. And you can also use a promo code John40 when you're ready to sign up, and you'll get 3 months of Nimble for 40% off. And now I would love to make sure we go through all the questions.
Nice overview, Michaela. Thank you so much. I've been answering the questions in the background. For those that haven't asked any questions, now is a great time to ask some questions. If you'd like, Michaela, you can feel free to cherry pick through the questions and answer in the order that you want, or you could throw them to me if you'd like. Let me.
Okay, I'll just quickly go through the list. I promised Ellie that I would show her how she can bulk tag people. So using the segmentation feature, you can basically use any of the filters here. So also, if you've already brought them in, it's very likely that we edit a tag automatically. So review the tags here, or you can also do under tags and pick them like this. So if you have a tagged group of people here, or if you somehow locate the group of people, you can then select all of them and then apply a tag to them in bulk. Fred was asking about duplicates, that he doesn't add people multiple times, but he seems to have a lot of duplicates. So if you need more help, let us know at care@nimble.com and we will look into this, but it really depends on how you brought all your contacts in. We will use the email as a unique identifier for individual contact records and the URL for companies. So if you, let's say, brought some contacts from LinkedIn, Twitter, and then Outlook contacts, and the emails were different on LinkedIn and on Outlook, we would create 2 different contact records. But if you need more help, let us know at care@nimble.com, and we are more than happy to look into it to make sure that nothing is broken.
Michaela, there was a question about does Nimble have a reminder notification to contact past clients?
Yes. So you can use the schedule button on the contact record from your inbox and from the browser extension, and you can set it up. And we also have, you can set up a task for yourself to make sure that it gets done. And then we also have a stay in touch reminder. So even when you're here, you can click on this little clock and set up an automatic custom reminder. So if you want to make sure that you are staying in touch with people, let's say every 18 days, you can set it up here, and then Nimble will let you know that it's time to follow up, and it will also show under stay in touch on your today page.
Perfect.
So let's see.
That question, are we going to send a recording of the webinar? We always send that to all registered users.
Yeah,
in regards to duplicates, we actually will be releasing an in-app duplicate checker soon that will enable you to ask Nimble to go find duplicates, which will be really great.
And Michael was asking if there is a way to create contacts as something other than a lead. So right now, when you bring in contacts in Nimble, they will all be either contacts or or companies. Soon we'll give you the option to also bring them in as leads. But he was saying that he's bringing in contacts that are, that some of them are mentors, some of them come in as referral. So when you're bringing contacts in, again, you can do the same thing from inside of Nimble, and also from the extensions. You can use the lead fields here to qualify them basically. And you can set up the source, how they got to you. So this can also be customized in settings. So depending on how they, how you found them, if they were referred to you and so on, you can use the lead fields to make sure that you note it in.
Right. So I think what you're saying, Michaela, is that all contacts are by default simply contacts. So you could bring in leads, you could bring in advisors, you could bring in investors, you could bring in press contacts. And the thing that I like to remind people is that it's not just prospects and customers that help you grow your business. At Nimble, we connect to editors, analysts, bloggers, influencers, third-party developers, investors, advisors, and prospects and customers, and their influencers as well. And so we use a variety of means to segment them and define them. One way is the leads field, another way is tags, another way is custom fields, and another new way soon will be a default sort of customer contact record, which is a lead versus an account, which models traditional CRMs. And that you should probably use whatever's most convenient to you. For many people, they find tags to be a nice way to start.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
No worries. And then there was a question about when you add a contact to Nimble, it creates a company record, and they both get tagged. And Mark was saying he'd like it if he could just tag the contact record with the tag. So it's something we can get back to with Mark.
Yeah.
And I think that covers all of them. What do you think, Michaela? Did we cover all the questions?
I think so. If we see anything we haven't answered, we will follow up with everybody individually. So with that, I would like to thank you again for joining us today. If you have any questions later, we are at care@nimble.com, and we'll be more than happy to get in touch with you and help you with anything.
Michaela, can you go to your LinkedIn record and your Twitter record and tell people how they can get a hold of, how they can connect with you?
Yes. So let's see.
And
everywhere
I do recommend that you do connect with the Nimble team. It helps us get to know you and you us, and get you access to us. And so there's Michaela's LinkedIn and your Twitter, Michaela.
My Twitter is here. I'm on Twitter as well. Feel free to connect with me anywhere.
And then go to a new tab and type in my name. So my last tip to you is to Google yourself, because your customers and their prospects will Google you. And ideally, you show up on the first page. And a good way to show up on the first page is to go build a Wikipedia page for yourself. It's a really simple, easy thing to do, and you can do it here. And so with that, Michaela, I want to thank you for your incredible presentation. And I want to thank Nedia for supporting us in the background. But most importantly, I want to thank the people that took their precious time today to spend it with us. And I love the feedback that we're getting. Michael says, this is better than I hoped for. Best CRM for my needs I've ever seen. Thank you, Michael, Tiana, Chuck, Andrea. Thank you so much for attending. And have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.